I did talk with the mayor of San Francisco, and we talked about all of his efforts to bring some safety and security to the streets of San Francisco, and that he had had a conversation with the president, who said we would cooperate and help as much as we could, but that if he didn't get it under control, that we would move in, that we would bring in more support, potentially National Guard, Department of War individuals that would be able to help make sure that those people get the safety that they deserve as well. I'll tell you what, last night was not a good example of what the mayor is accomplishing and what the people in that area are accomplishing. To see this violent individual use a truck to try to break into our Coast Guard base and to ram those individuals and threaten the lives of the individuals who serve in our Coast Guard was horrific. And we won't stand for that anymore. I talked to the president about it just a couple of hours after it happened early this morning, and the president said that was their one chance, that if they don't figure out how to protect our law enforcement officers and protect our Coast Guard members, that we would be forced to come in and protect those individuals. Listen, our Coast Guard as well has been out there doing a lot of this drug interdiction that you see across the country and across the world. They don't just have a search and rescue mission. They have a mission to go out there and do a lot of interdictions out in our maritime seas and are picking up tons of cocaine and fentanyl and meth that's being shipped in. Because our border is closed, these cartels and terrorist organizations are moving it through different methods. And so our Coast Guard has been absolute rock stars in being partners with ICE and ERO and HSI to make sure that we're not just bringing people to justice, but that we're also getting these deadly drugs off of our streets. We have saved millions of lives by doing operations like this and getting these drugs out of a system and keeping them away from our children. Right here?
Are you able to elaborate further, more specifically, when we should be seeing those dozens of new agents, and will they be targeting a specific traffic here in Minneapolis?
Our new agents that will come to this region will continue to do the work that this office has done. They'll continue to go out and to not just go after the worst of the worst, but make sure that those individuals that are in this country illegally are brought to justice and deported. You know, one thing I would remind everybody is that we've telegraphed this from the very beginning of the administration, is that if you're here illegally, go home. We will give you $1,000 cash, we will buy you a plane ticket, and you will get the chance to come back to America the right way. If you wait until we detain you and have to deport you, it may take you months to get there, to get through the due process of it, and then you will never get the chance to come back to America and to be one of our citizens and enjoy what is so special about this country. So, again, everyone should go download the CBP One app and be able to facilitate your flight and your payment, and we would like to get you back home to your country so that if you want to come back, you can do it the right way. It's been incredibly successful. The question is if it's been successful encouraging people to voluntarily go home? Absolutely. We have over 1.6 million people that have voluntarily deported on their own, decided, you know what, I'm not going to wait until they come and find me and arrest me. I'm going to go home now and get the chance to come back. And many of these countries that they are coming from have set up different programs and training opportunities for them. You go to Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Panama, many of these countries have training programs, housing loans that they will give to individuals who are returning back. They want them to be a part of their economy. Their situation has changed as well. Because America has enforced our borders and we've worked with them so much, they're doing better and their businesses are growing. So we would encourage people to continue to do that. Overwhelmingly, people understand now that it's different in the United States. Now we follow the law. Now we enforce the law, and now people are safe again. We'll go down here.
Where ICE agents have not been appropriately identifying themselves here in Minnesota, is that something that's being handled internally?
Our agents always follow exactly what the law is and what the regulation and the protocol is for every single operation that they're out on. So they are always identifying themselves and making sure that people know who they are and why they're there.
Recently, a couple weeks ago, there was workers of a roofing company that were detained in St. Paul, and multiple witnesses who live in that neighborhood said that ICE agents were not identifying themselves. Is that something that's been resolved since?
Our agents follow the exact same operational protocols and regulations and structure and law that they always have. Nothing has changed for how they operate, going out there and making sure they're detaining people that are here illegally, that have committed criminal activities, and that need to be removed from our country.
Secretary Noem, can
Yes.
you or Mr. Westbay provide some clarification on the two men on the posters behind you? Did they live in this area? When were they arrested? Any more details you can provide on them?
Do you want to talk?
I might actually have for
Yeah.
David on this one.
Yep.
I believe those are yours.
I've got some details, too. Let me, Aldrin Guarnero Muniz was a Mexican who has been convicted of assault and homicide in 2004. He was arrested for first-degree assault, third-degree assault, and malicious punishment of a child. In 2005, convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 32 years in prison. In 2015, arrested for 2 counts of third-degree assault. In 2016, again, convicted of third-degree assault and sentenced to 21 months in prison. And yes, the individual was arrested under this administration since President Trump has come in. The next one, Jose Hernandez Rivas, an El Salvadorian illegal alien convicted of human slavery and trafficking. In 2023, he was convicted of 1 count of labor or sex trafficking, which is a felony, and he was sentenced to 10 to 12 years of prison, again arrested with this administration. I'll remind you that our detainers that we have on individuals here are not being honored by the state. So when an individual, we lodge a detainer against someone that's going to be released back out onto the streets, this state is not honoring those detainers, correct? Which means those dangerous criminals are released and we have to go out and find them. We wish the state would change their position on that. Francisco Garcia Olivar, an illegal alien from Mexico, was convicted of sexual assault. In 2021, convicted of attempted sexual assault in the first degree and sexual assault on a child of the third degree, and sentenced to 12 to 14 years in prison. And the last one is David Gonzalez Rivas, illegal alien from El Salvador, pending charges for assault, additional pending charges including drug possession, weapons possession, and also that includes a felony charge of carrying a concealed weapon. So, yes. One last question. Who wants to be the last one? Yes, sir.
During the October 18th raid in Wilder, Idaho, multiple parents say that their children, as young as 10, were zip-tied for up to 4 hours. Other parents say they were frustrated and unable to care for their kids. Most of them were U.S. citizens. As I said, any policies on the treatment of minors during raids? And if so, do you make sure that your partner agencies are aware of the rules ahead of time?
Absolutely. Those children, absolutely, that never happened. That's a fake story. That is not true. Children have never been zip-tied, and that will not happen in the future.
Secretary Noem,
Yep.
can you tell us what you plan to increase immigration capacity in terms of detainment for Minnesota, including possibly entering a contract to use the 30 correctional facilities?
I can't speak specific to a contract, but we are looking for more opportunities for detention partnerships here in the state of Minnesota. So we're looking a lot to state agreements, but also where the state isn't cooperative, such as Governor Walz has not been. I would say we're looking for sheriffs, local communities, smaller towns that may have the ability to help provide and partner with us because they know so many of these individuals that are dangerous in their communities, and they can work with us to make sure that we're meeting not just their law enforcement needs, but also we're getting those people out of their area as soon as possible. Yep. Well, I think starting by calling our law enforcement officers Nazis and Gestapo would be just about the worst thing you could ever do. When you have someone who has taken an oath to give their life to defend communities and to defend this country and our Constitution, that's a horrible thing to say. And I haven't heard him apologize for it yet either. But if he would sign agreements with us to have our backs out on operations, that he would help with the safety and the security of our federal officers when they're out there protecting people and making sure that we're focused on getting the worst of the worst off our streets as soon as possible, that would be absolutely wonderful. That would be a sea change that would be fundamental because I don't know how he sleeps at night. I don't know how he goes to bed knowing that he's letting these people walk these streets and there can be more victims the next day. I hope that the next family who loses their child to the drugs that are on this table or illegal weapons that are on the streets doesn't have to put up with a governor like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.